It's truly sad to say you cannot believe this, but really you cannot believe this, that there are still places in the world where humanity is in its original form, where emotions are allowed to be big and stories unfold without shortcuts. So expression does not depend on screens. So today I want to take you to a place that feels both ancient and also timeless. A place where beauty is performed, not posted. Welcome to opera and theater. Last episode, we talked about the tension of being born in a generation that stands between memory and this new world of technology. And I'm not saying technology is bad. I find it almost poetic that in a world obsessed with speed and behind emojis or ha-ha-has, there still exists an art form that insists on slowness. Think about opera for a moment. You cannot fast forward emotions or replay and save it. You cannot scroll through a scene. You cannot skip a character's development. There's not even a remote control to set the speed on 1.1. You sit, you watch, and listen, and you feel. And something in you softens, because for once, nothing is demanding your reaction. It's only your presence. Opera was born in the late 16th century, at a time when Europe was rediscovering the emotional intensity of Greek tragedies. The art is crazily dramatic during that era, from color contrast to shadows, Rembrandt paintings, maximalism, and the glitter of gold and baroque everywhere. And theater, of course, is older, stretching back thousands of years, to rituals, to storytelling, to communities gathering around firelight. So many cultures around the world, like the human beings yet so far and unfamiliar with each other, share the same hobbies and language to express themselves and their emotions. And yet both art forms still survive today, even though the world around them changed beyond recognition. Electricity replaced candlelight, photography replaced memory, film replaced imagination, the internet replaced patience, but opera and theater stayed. Not because they resisted progress, but because they protect something essential about being human. The need to witness and the need to be moved. When you sit in an opera house, you are surrounded by architecture, ceilings, the velvet, the balconies, all of it is designed to carry sound and amplify the feeling for you. And it really hits you. Like, this is how expression looked like before we compressed it into reels and algorithms. This is what performance actually sounded like before microphones, and this is what storytelling felt like before life became fragmented into fleeting content. In a world where most people perform for cameras, opera remains one of the last places where people perform for the room, for the audience, and for you. For the breathing, the living audience, for the moment itself. And there is no replay, no retaking, there is no filter, there is no adjusting the light in between, only voice, body, and presence. And when the soprano hits a note, that fills the entire room. You realize how much of our emotional life we have outsourced to screens. Opera gives it back to us. But it's not only about music or theater itself, it's about the ritual around it. Getting dressed, arriving early, reading the program, taking your seat, turning off your phone, accepting that you will be unreachable for a couple of hours. Do you realize how radical it is today? How luxurious it feels to disappear from the world without justifications. We forgot how to sink into experiences, and opera teaches us how. And there is something else, something deeper, that opera and theater embrace exaggeration. in a good way. They allow emotion to be big, dramatic, overwhelming, but modern life teaches us to be quiet, reserved, conservative, and to tone everything down. Be reasonable, be efficient, be calm, don't feel too much and don't want too much, don't express too much on a stage. Everything is too much, and that is the point. Love is louder, pain is louder, the ambition, the grief, all of them are louder. The stage reminds us of the intensity we suppress in real life. This is why I believe us, especially women with refined taste, gravitate toward these spaces. Because we feel deeply, we have complexity inside ourselves that daily life does not always allow and not really appreciate it. And opera, on the contrary, gives shape to these emotions. And theater gives voice to the questions we are sometimes too polite to simply ask. In many ways, watching a performance is like watching our own inner world play itself out in front of our eyes with costumes, music, lights, and honesty. And yes, of course, there is beauty in the aesthetics too. The gowns, the textures, the silhouette of the opera itself, the scene, the stage, the reason why opera style has always inspired fashion. Like Landon was obsessed with opera costumes. Christian Dior, for example, attended performances. Or Maria Callas influenced entire era of elegance. Even today, when you see famous figures like Ulyana Sergeyenko or Dita Von Teese, anything dramatic and feminine, the lineage goes back to the opera house. But what I want to do today is not simply romanticizing it. I want to connect it back to life. We often say that the world became too much, too loud or fast or sometimes chaotic for us, and yet we quietly crave experiences where too much is allowed. This is a bit ironic. Where we can feel without apologizing, where we can sit for hours and let meaning unfold slowly. The stage teaches us that the expression is not something to shrink. It is something to refine. I said in the previous episode too that we have some sort of dilemmas in this transition of this new world around us, and how big changes in history and society changes art and people and vice versa. Aspects of industrialization. I mean, you cannot really believe, again, even the history of electricity fits beautifully here. Before Edison, theater was performed under candlelight, under gas lamp, a warm, flickering glow that shaped the mood of entire scene. When the electricity arrived in the late 19th century, theaters were among the first places to adopt it. Dimming lights, spotlighting singers, shaping scenes. These innovations transformed performance art forever. Slowly, the stage became the birthplace of what we now call modern atmosphere. And I love that the invention we now associate with overstimulation served to deepen emotional immersion. And that's the cool part of this world. If we are precise about what we want, the simple answers are always around us. The solutions are always there. If you go back even further, the rise of industrial capitalism also elevated opera culture. As cities grew, theaters became the social centers for the upper-class families. Women wore their finest gowns, families displayed status, and high society gathered under the same roof to witness shared emotion. It was a space where power and beauty lived side by side. And now, ironically, in a time when everyone can afford entertainment on their phones, opera has become a luxury again. Not because of the ticket price, but because of the discipline it requires. The time, attention, presence, 3 things modern life steals from us daily. The digital world offers convenience, yes, but the stage offers meaning, and I don't think they need to compete. I think we are meant to navigate both. We can enjoy the efficiency of technology and still crave the depth of live expression. We can exist online without losing our inner world. This balance does not really happen so naturally. We have to choose it, and we have to work. And that is the point of today's conversation. Choosing simple meaning and choosing depth and beauty when everything feels so disposable. Operas and theaters survived centuries because they protect the essence of humanity, not the updated version, but the original one. So next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, there's a room somewhere, probably in your city, that people still sit in silence to witness emotion. A room where stories unfold so slowly. A room where beauty is not consumed, it is experienced. And maybe that is the ritual we all need. A moment in the week where we step out of house and yet into ourselves. A reminder that life is not only meant to be managed in our Excel files, it is meant to be felt. After understanding the tension of our generation, we now explore one of the last sanctuaries that rebalances it. And next, we will go even further. But for now, watch the next video.